Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Middlest, our Patreon exclusive series where we discuss the exact average user-rated episode of the show that we spoke about the week before, which was Seinfeld. So we're here to talk about what it looks like at its exact average, because every show has highs and lows, but spends most of the time in that big middle. What is today's episode, Meg?
Season 6, episode 15, The Beard.
And this is using the beard as in a beard for a gay person who's pretending to be straight, because that is the main plot of this episode, which I was worried about. I feel like I was pleasantly surprised that this episode was maybe not perfect, but significantly less offensive than I expected, given the premise.
Agreed. It definitely was like I was waiting for it to just be really bad, but I thought it was actually handled pretty well. I thought it was like kind of very respectful and not super tropey, and I thought it was handled pretty well. It was written by Carol Leifer, who was not out at the time this episode was written, but ultimately has come out as queer. So.
Yeah, she came out. So we didn't really get into this in the main episode, but everyone in the show is based, or not everyone, but the main four cast are based on real people. And Elaine is based on Carol Leifer, who wrote this episode. She was, in fact, Jerry Seinfeld's ex, but they remained close friends, similar to Jerry and Elaine. And yeah, she eventually realized she was gay and got married and had a kid at like 50, I want to say. So she's joked about kind of figuring herself out and getting life to happen a little late. And then George was Larry David, and Kramer was based on Larry David's neighbor of 6 years in New York City, who apparently would just come into his apartment and start talking to him and opening his fridge, and who was named Kramer. Larry David wanted to change the name, but Jerry thought Kramer was a funny name and insisted they keep it. And the real Kramer, he tried to get cast as Kramer. He did various legal actions. He was kind of a pain in the ass about it, but I think he eventually just did like a radio show that was like the real Kramer. So this episode was written by the real Elaine. In it, I would say the A plot, it just doesn't really apply to Seinfeld because it is just such a pile of jokes. But the A plot is that Elaine's co-worker,
friend of a friend,
excuse me, he is cast to go out to the opera.
The ballet.
I'm getting every detail.
I did watch this episode twice, so.
With his boss, and he is not out at work because this is the 90s, and so he needs Elaine to be his beard and pretend to be his date at the ballet, and she's in because she's a ballet fan.
She's a ballet fan, and because he's cute, and she catches feelings.
That happens later. So the rest of the episode is she is trying to figure out if she can seduce a gay man, which, spoiler alert, she does successfully seduce him. It turns out he's bi and does sleep with her.
But she couldn't close the deal, ultimately, because she felt like she didn't, which I found this very funny. She says, there's a lot of nuance, and they're saying they're playing for this team, playing for that team, playing for our team. And Elaine says that ultimately she couldn't win him over because she only has access to the equipment at most 35 to 40 minutes a week, whereas the players on the other team have access to their own equipment. So...
Yeah, it's funny because this is like early to mid 90s. It's not the most liberatory time, but in the episodes we've watched, they've discussed masturbation and gay sex with this kind of casual acceptance that you wouldn't expect from the time. It is, Jerry responds to that by being like, yeah, that's why they enjoy it so much. There's this sense of like a lack of judgment you would expect from television at the time, that I think it is a little bit the New York City Jewishness of it. Like these are people that live in gay communities, that live, around people like this. And so there's an acceptance that they then are broadcasting on television to millions and millions of people who maybe don't know gay people in their lives. To hear the rest of this episode, support us on Patreon. The link is in the show notes. Thank you so much, and see you next week.